We are day 28. We're talking about one of my favorite topics, and yours too. Or is it your least? But hang on, it'll make sense. Today is all about being salesy. Don't you just love it? Listen, I have yet to meet a woman who has not, at one time or another, said, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to come off as like a know-it-all or arrogant or something. And hey, really, I'm no better than others. Have you ever said that? Well, I bet as you've even been creating this content over the course of Sales Month, you very well may have thought just that. Like, am I being too salesy here? Is Judy insane? Asking me to, invite people to a consult every day for 30 days? What? If that's you, wave at me, even though I don't see you. Okay. Listen, I want to share with you my firm belief as to why you cannot be salesy. It's impossible for you and me and everyone who loves Jesus Christ called to this work. It is impossible for you to be salesy. You ready? All right. Here's the deal. Here's the shift in thinking and perspective that's going to put you on the right path. Here it is. You're simply obeying where the Lord has called you. Right? Marketing, sales, grabbing your client's attention, keeping it, and then impressing them enough with you, your knowledge, your expertise, your approach, your client results, so that all that's required is to work with you, to have a business. Like you're being obedient when you give them certainty as to that. That's what sales is. Okay? Think about that. So, are you coming off as a know-it-all? You won't. Why? Why, Judy? How do you know? I keep saying they're wrong. It's not this, it's that. And who am I? And my mom or my sister or my husband says, what in the world? Who the heck are you to say that? Look, I'm nothing but Christ called me. Would you like to have it up with him? I don't even know what to tell you about that, right? Like that's why when sometimes I have a great idea, what I think is a great idea, right? And I'll share it with my husband. And he'll be like, he has never said, wow, that's great. He always has some yeah, but or something else. And then I go, la, 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 la. Why do I even ask you, right? Doesn't know what you know from what God told you, your husband, I'm saying, or your mother-in-law, or your sister, or your pastor. Share things here in the group. Share things with me. Don't share things with people who aren't entrepreneurs, who don't have a clue. Lovingly, I have to say, they don't have a clue. So don't subject yourself to their judgment. Okay. Now I got a little bit off a far field here, but listen, you can't come off as a know-it-all. Why? Because that's not your heart. That's not why you're speaking with boldness. You're not speaking with boldness because you want to puff your chest up and I know it all. That's not you. That is not why you speak with conviction. That is not why you don't mince words. Many of you in your reviews, I've told you, get rid of this word, get rid of that word. We don't have qualifier words. Maybe, perhaps. Experts don't do that. Okay. But here's what you do. You don't intend, and therefore you do not come off as a know-it-all. But I know you. You absolutely do want and frankly need in business to come off as an expert. You need to. You need to come off as somebody who knows their stuff without apology. Leaders are who people follow, right? And so you don't intend to offend or put anybody off. Quite the opposite. You're intending not to put anybody off, but to invite the right people and embrace them and welcome them into your extraordinary world. What does that mean, Judy? I didn't know I had an extraordinary world. Let me tell you about your extraordinary world, okay? This is a world in your space, in your coaching, consulting, expert containers, your services. That is an extraordinary world where your clients get what they want. where they begin to see that what they want is not only possible, but inevitable. As you're saying, just work with me. Just follow my process. I got you. Let's go. Does that make sense? You can't be salesy. It's impossible. Another thing to think about in this idea of your world, where you show up, where you're putting out content, own the fact that it's yours. So say what you want to say. You're going to draw in your people. And along these lines, I really want to make this distinction. And I know you've heard it before, but I believe that by God's grace, I'm going to say it in a way that you've never heard it before. So listen. You have to decide, are you in business as a CEO? Or is this whole thing just a hobby? Because if you have decided that you're in business, the fact is you need sales. Money drives business. By the way, money also drives nonprofits. So you could go that route too, but you're still going to be looking for people to pay you instead of clients, in that instance, from donors. Either way, money drives your work. Unless it's a hobby. Just a hobby. Money's not why I do what I do. It's just kind of a whenever I feel like it sort of thing. It's just for me. When I have the time. Very casual. Wait a minute. That's not who you are. Do you see the distinct mindset difference? You're in business because God called you to it. And I have no doubt that there was a time when you were grappling with whether or not this was for you or whether or not God called you to this. Ooh, hope it doesn't come off as me yelling at you. I just want to make this point with emphasis, okay? Look, God called you to this. This is why. This is a primary reason why the Lord knitted you together in your mama's womb. So that you would have this business. Like, it's your responsibility under God to run your business like a legit business, because that's what it is. And so instead of, oh gosh, I don't want to be salesy and worrying all these things. No. You say, I will not let fear stop me from doing what needs to be done to run this God-ordained business as a business so that I, meaning you, by God's grace, can make the impact that you were created to make. Did I flip a switch in your brain? Did something unlock? If you did, in the comments, tell me, okay? All right, one more point. Finally, this idea of people coming into your world, whether it's on podcast guesting, your own podcast, on social, YouTube, whatever. When people come into your world, they have a choice. Stay or go. Like, you don't want everybody to stay, right? So you need to speak boldly what God told you to say. I am standing strong and firm and convicted that God made me to be this beacon, which is what you are, this beacon of light and solutions for your people. And so we should, our respective social media bios, platforms, content should reflect your convictions without apology, because they can stay or go. And so if they choose to stay, which would be your people, your best client, you need to know something about what they want. So please listen. Those that stay, they want the results you offer. And what's another way of saying that? They want to be sold to. See how we're coming all the way around? They want to be sold to. Because your sales experience will be a positive one for them because of who you are. So own that. So I want to end with this vivid word picture. I pray it's vivid. That your sales experience as they walk the journey and get on calls with you or otherwise consume this awesome content that you're putting out. You won't be arm twisting them, trying to convince them to do something they don't want to do. Right? That's not who you are. You will instead be showing them what you know and what you do for your clients. You're going to lay out with specificity their current experience, like what they're really grappling with now as they think, how does she know that about me? And then you're going to diagnose what they're missing, where they've gotten it wrong, why what they've tried didn't work. You're the doctor with the white coat. You're diagnosing, right? I'm talking about the entire sales process, right? And even in your content. Here's what you're missing. Here's why that didn't work. Here's why it's this, not that. And so you are painting a vivid picture of what their life or business or relationship or whatever it is could be. I.e., you are giving them what they need to make a sound decision. That is selling. That's not harassing. That's not bullying. That's not convincing. That's merely standing firm in your calling. That's being firmly rooted in your convictions and your purpose, and merely inviting them to get exactly what they want by working with you. I pray this was a blessing. Have fun creating your content today. I'll see you tomorrow.